What's so crazy about this whole Austin Theory situation is I kind of called this. I called this back in the summer. Now let me say this. Austin Theory, I still stand by, I see him as a future world champion. But I felt he was being pushed too fast. And let's be honest, before everybody lays all the blame on WWE and Triple H, keep in mind, he was not booked that strong even when Vince McMahon was there. Under Triple H, definitely wasn't going to be booked that strong. And I always felt he shouldn't have had the Money in the Bank briefcase in the first place. I always said that. In fact, and this is just a clip of a video I made back on July 4th of this year, right after he won it, where I said, basically saying the same things that I am now. Take a listen. Said him winning the Money in the Bank this past Saturday, I don't know, it just feels so forced in my opinion. It feels so forced, and I'll tell you why. Because even though I see him as a future champion, I don't see him as a champ right now. I don't see him as a champion at this moment. I really don't. I don't see him as a champion at this moment. Let me put it this way. Even with that Money in the Bank briefcase and knowing that he could cash it in at any time on the current champion, which is Roman Reigns, because he's both Universal and WWE World Champion. Even with that threat, does Austin Theory feel like a threat to Roman? Or let's say Roman loses it to Brock Lesnar or Drew McIntyre. Heck, if he lost it to Bobby Lashley, would Austin Theory, even with that briefcase, would he feel like a threat? I'm like this. If you're not a threat without the briefcase, I don't see where you'd be a threat with it. For example, RVD, when he won it, Rob Van Dam, when he won his Money in the Bank, he was a threat without it. But with it, he was a double threat. I can think of other past Money in the Bank winners. Let's go to the women. Bayley, for example. Bayley was a threat to then champion Charlotte Flair without the Money in the Bank briefcase. She was a threat without it because she had already beaten Charlotte in the past without that. So with it, oh my goodness, you have this added dimension, this added threat. Whereas, say, when Nikki Ash won it last year, which, by the way, that's when Liv Morgan, and still, congratulations to her, but to be honest, that's when she should have won it. When Nikki Ash won it last year, did she really feel like a threat to Charlotte Flair without that briefcase? No. I did not feel no threat. Now, if she was Nikki Cross, that might be a little different story. Especially Nikki Cross from NXT. But Nikki Ash didn't feel like a threat without the briefcase. And that's what I'm getting at with Austin Theory. Right now, he does not feel like a threat to Roman Reigns. Or if any of the other guys I named won the title. Basically, even with that Money in the Bank briefcase, I could see him cashing in and failing. So sad about the last part of what I said in that clip is that's what ended up happening. But I would have never dreamed it would have went down in the way that it did. He basically cashed in on Seth Rollins for the United States Championship, a mid-card title, and that's no disrespect to Seth, but it's the U.S. title. Plus, on top of it, it was an open challenge thing anyway. Why give up your Money in the Bank when it was an open challenge where you didn't even have to put up your Money in the Bank contract? But what he did made him look like an absolute idiot. He would have looked better to cash in on Roman Reigns and lose. He would have looked better if he would have went to NXT and cashed in on Braun Breaker and lost. He would have looked better there. At least he would have went after the top guy. At least he would have went after the top champion. And as for Roman Reigns, we already know, and you've heard my opinion, the only way he's beat Roman Reigns on a cash-in is if Roman Reigns is dying. Or he comes to the ring with a double-barrel shotgun and blasts him in the chest, and as he's heading to the upper room, he cashes in and pins him. That's the only way he's beaten Roman Reigns. Only about 4 people in my mind should ever beat Roman Reigns at this point. That's Seth Rollins, that's Cody Rhodes. You can make an argument for Bobby Lashley. You can even make an argument for Gunther, the current Intercontinental Champion. But other than those 4, no, nobody should beat Roman, let alone some Austin Theory. But the way they got the Money in the Bank briefcase off of him, oh God. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. I'm out.